Was I? Okay, so in the previous video I said that after all the altercation, this guy, them screaming in the house, them basically just saying all sorts of then and then after them screaming, after them saying things they're not supposed to be saying, them saying all this, screaming in the middle of the night, just overall a horrible environment, the girl calling the police on him. We get him living by himself. Okay, that's why he said that was the first part. Now this is the second part, right? So him living by himself downstairs. At first he was behaving because he had his family down here. He had his mom and his dad here. We were taking care of them because they were coming out of state, and we didn't want them to spend all this money on the hotel. So they were down there. They were chilling up in our house and everything, right? As soon as they left, we started getting problems. And by problems, I mean headaches. Because one night, I started hearing voices, right? And I'm thinking to myself, why am I hearing voices? At 12 a.m., right? I'm hearing voices. Then I start to smell something. And apparently, it was like, I started smelling skunk. And I thought to myself, why am I smelling skunk in my own house? Then I realized, oh, okay. So apparently, at 1 a.m. in the morning, he brought 2 people, and they were smoking weed in our house. And I go downstairs. First of all, I wake up my dad because I didn't want to have problems with my dad. So I wake up my dad telling him, okay, I'm not crazy, right? He goes in my room and smells the marijuana, and he's like, yeah, that's marijuana. So we go downstairs, and I told him, what are you doing, dude? Are you smoking weed? I told him, like, you can smoke weed here. No, I mean, you can smoke weed outside, but you can't smoke weed in our house. Especially in that room, because the smell gets in the carpet, it gets in the walls. It's a fucking bitch to take care of, to basically to get rid of, right? The smell. And my dad intervened, saying, no, I don't want him to smoke anything near our house. So, and I told him, I see, like, he has, like, 2 people in there, and I don't, like, dude, why'd you bring these people? Oh, they're cool with me. It's like, they're cool with you, but they're not cool with me. So I literally had to explain house ethics to him about having people over in our house, and my parents should have been more clear about having people over in our house. Like, you haven't paid us rent. You brought the police to our house. You're doing all sorts of shady shit, and now you still bring people to our house? Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what the hell is your problem? So we bring him to our house. So I couldn't sleep, right? I couldn't sleep for the life of me. It was like 3 a.m. I waited up like I waited for the longest time. I stayed up for like 2 hours waiting for them to leave. They did not leave right away. Like, they I don't know whether they're watching a movie or something. They did not leave right away. I don't know what they're doing. They come upstairs and they look at me, and they didn't even say anything. They just say hi, and it's like, oh my god. I was just shaking my head, and I just told them, like, hi, what's up, dude? and I don't know, I didn't want to ask like this girl come up, and she was young, right? I didn't want to ask how old she was, because I didn't want any more problems. I really didn't really want my parents to deal with all this. I really didn't want the police to come to my house again. So they leave, right? Okay, end of story, right? We told him not to do that. We told him that if he does that again, we're kicked out, right? If you bring people to our house, you're out. So after that, the next following day, right? The following day, he comes. I start hearing moaning downstairs, right? I start hearing moaning downstairs, and I first of all I did was wake up my dad, because they were loud, right? It was fucking loud. It was basically, oh yeah, just screaming, right? And they were doing it downstairs in my house. They were fucking downstairs in my house, dude. And I went downstairs and I told them, okay, dude, what do we tell you about having people in our house? Sneaking people in our house at 1 a.m. when everybody's sleeping. And he told him, this is my girl, dude. I don't care who it is, man. Why? First of all, you got in trouble for this in the first place. You're bringing strangers to our house, and it got to the point where I told my dad, I'm gonna kick him out. I'm done with this. I really don't want to deal with this. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. So I gave him the spiel, like, dude, you're bringing all these strangers to our house. You're smoking marijuana in our house, and now I can't sleep because I don't know who else you're gonna bring. You already betrayed my trust twice. You're already doing all sorts of shady shit in our house. I'm just done. I'm just done. Okay, so I told him, leave, right? Pack up your shit, go, right? So he packs up his shit, he goes out, right? And he leaves, right? He leaves, right? And so he leaves, and he was making all sorts of excuses, right? He was like, well, I wake up at 5:02 a.m. It's like, dude, that's good for you. That's how you live your life. I'm not asking, if you live your life that way, good for you, dude. I don't live my life that way. I'm not about that life. So they leave. I stay up because I'm such a big stickler, because I don't like having weird people in my house. And you call it a phobia, call it everything, but I told this guy leaves. He leaves. The girl, the same exact girl, the young, she was very young. I didn't want to inquire how old she was. I didn't want to say what she was doing. I just wanted them out of my house, right? She gives me this nasty ass look, and I just give her this like, you seriously gonna, you're gonna give me the 20-mile stare in my house, dude? You're fucking in my house, and you're giving me the eyes? Like, what the fuck? What? Like, what? So she leaves. I just wanted him out of my house, so he got kicked out. Next day, he packed up his stuff. Keep in mind, he hasn't paid us a dime. He owes us like $1,400 in rent money. Apparently he wasn't going to pay us back anyways, because he had all these court dealings and everything. I didn't care. I just wanted him out of my life. I just want him to leave. So he leaves, and I guess he's so, I don't know, and that was the last time I ever heard of him, right? So far, right? So this is the last story, right? This is the last example. So I go jogging, right? I go jogging, and keep in mind I still have some of his stuff down here. I have his TV down here, and I told my parents I'm gonna keep that TV because he owes us so much money. That TV covers the cost he put my family through. So we leave, right? I go jogging, and I get this phone call from my sister saying he came to our house. Apparently he rang the doorbell, poked his head inside, came inside, and my sister comes downstairs. The idiot was upstairs for some odd reason. He came inside without permission to get his stuff. And I told my sister, why didn't you close the door or anything? I said, because we live in a... And I shouldn't blame her. We live in a quiet neighborhood. Nothing happens, right? This dude comes in, and I guess he took the TV, he took everything, his stuff, right? He took all of his stuff, and I told my parents we're going to keep that TV because we need it, because he owes us so much money. He takes the TV, he takes everything. He hasn't paid us a dime after he left, and to be honest, I really don't want him coming back. He caused us so much grief. He caused me so much grief. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know when he was coming back to pay us. He still hasn't fixed the huge hole we have in our door. And I guess I'll make peace with that, right? So I guess that's my story from my roommate from hell. I'm sorry I'm not used to speaking about this, but yeah, that's my story about how this guy, basically, this scum of the earth, right? This guy, like, he got fired from his job. Basically he didn't care where his life was going. He didn't care. He was like a 36-year-old man with a 18-year-old girl. Like, live your life however you live. So he leaves and everything, and that's it. That's the story of my roommate from hell. I hope you guys enjoyed.